All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. So, before we get into today's video, we have a sponsor for today's video, and that sponsor is Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon, as you may have been able to guess, is a cereal company that makes healthy alternative cereal. The cereal boasts 0 grams of sugar, only 4 grams of net carbs, and 13 grams of protein per serving, and also only about 140 calories per serving. This is a fantastic healthy alternative if you've been struggling with your New Year's health goals. How about dropping off, 100 grams of sugar per your breakfast that you've been consuming? That is a fantastic way to get started. And it's still good. It's just delicious. I'm partial to this maple waffle flavor personally, but it's just good cereal. So if you'd like to get $5 off your first order of Magic Spoon, you can go to magicspoon.com/Brozime and use the code Brozime at checkout for, well, that $5 off. With that, thank you once again to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. Welcome everyone to another of the 2022 Builds Refresh videos. Today we're going to be talking about pressing Excalibur. Excalibur is a Warframe that has been around a while and has been kind of just like a staple, totally fine Warframe in terms of his usability, and that remains much the same. For this, we are using the Helminth to give him Gloom. He is yet another gloomy Warframe, and that is because he has 2 real free spaces in his kit. Both Radial Javelin and Slash Dash are pretty much completely and entirely useless and don't really help move him forward in any front of, doing more. But he does have Radial Howl or Radial Blind, which are pretty much the same ability, but Radial Howl gets a little extra bonus in terms of getting rid of the sentient resistances that anything around you happens to have. And Exalted Blade is good. You're going to whip out the Exalted Blade and hit E a whole lot. This is helped by Gloom, because Gloom is going to make it so that you have constant lifesteal. And in addition to that, the slow is also helpful for survivability, so pretty much just all good things. Gloom also, naturally, because of it being the AoE that it is and moving with you, it will naturally help enemies stack up, which makes it much, much easier to kill more enemies at once with the Exalted Blade, so Gloom is kind of doing double duty there. As I will say, Excal really doesn't need that much help in terms of the survivability aspect, and you could just heal with Operator Arcanes and stuff, but it's also convenient to not have to do that. So, let's look at the build. The build is pretty simple. Obviously, he comes with all of these Umbral polarities, and we've got, 2 polarities on here. My Chromatic Blade is even in a wrong polarity for that matter, but this is the build that I've really settled on, is just like a good time. It's like fine for doing the stuff that Excal does. Chromatic Blade, I will say, is like basically totally necessary. You really, there's just not anything that can replace that extra 300% status chance. That's absolutely enormous and huge for Excal, so I really wouldn't suggest going without Chromatic Blade because it's just that good. And then otherwise, the Umbral mods give us a bunch of survivability and a good chunk of strength here. Adaptation makes sure that we have no real way to die. Although I will say, if you're going into not the steel path, or even in the steel path, it's kind of an option select here. You could totally remove adaptation for either more strength if you want that. If you want to max out efficiency, if you're having energy troubles, you could totally go for that as well and get a little bit of your duration back. Tons of options here in terms of what you want to do. And you, of course, can remove Cunning Drift if you'd rather go for Prime Sure-Footed, but I really do like having that extra 15% ability range. It seems to make a good amount of difference to me. Also optional, Augur Secrets. This could also be Augur Reach, depending on what you want for the distances on both your Blind and on Gloom. Those things are going to be up to taste from like a person-to-person standpoint, but I really like having 200% strength as it's a really good baseline for Gloom, getting that 70% slow, and of course being able to use the Parazon if we need that extra 50% strength. We can get a much more effective slow if we happen to be in that situation. And yeah, Arcanes-wise, Arcane Strike is like pretty standard here. You're going to get any hit, 15% chance, 60% attack speed. This is going to have basically 100% uptime, and the additional 60% attack speed is, well, swinging considerably faster. You're going to hit more people more times because you're swinging a lot more, turns out. And then Energize is, of course, just a staple to just top us off on energy whenever we happen to, run into an Energy Leech Xmas and we get kind of low. Energize will pop us right back up and everything will be hunky-dory. Other than that, of course, the very important build is the Umbra Blade, and this is a little bit more expensive. This is 4 Forma, and it doesn't need to be 4 Forma. I will say you definitely don't need Primed Fury, for example. You can very much get away with a lot of the other just like attack speed mods. Like you're gonna be just fine. Even regular Fury, you're gonna be a-okay. But yeah, this is like generally what's going on here. You want to go Viral Heat. heat mainly, and that is, of course, your chromatic color is going to be that as well. And then Condition Overload does work on Exalted Blade. And if you want or feel the need to, you can use a weapon as a primer for this, although that's not necessary in any content as it stands currently. For those that don't know what a primer is, you'd use a weapon like the Nucor, which is the popular one for it, and you use all different elementals from what is on your Umbra Blade, so not viral heat, and you hit them with, the magnetic radiation, etc., and you build all that up and then get that benefit off of Condition Overload. That's the thing that you can do, but it's very much unnecessary. Other than that, yeah, for those that don't know, Chromatic Blade, you need to pick a color with your emissive. In this case, you should pretty much always choose heat, as you're going to want heat procs more than anything else. Heat procs are going to chunk through both armor and, of course, just high damage. Heat procs will kill basically anything if you apply enough of them, as long as they're vulnerable to that. Yeah, very simple playstyle here on Umbra. I really wish that Slash Dash and Radial Javelin were more incorporated into his kit and more effective abilities to use. Like if we had Slash Dash with a much larger AoE whenever you use it while Exalted Blade is out in order to hit large groups of enemies. That would also mean you have to mash E a whole lot less because you could be using Slash Dash instead. And then on Radial Javelin, also having some kind of good scaling from Exalted Blade in order to like just do something more and add something to what Excal does, because right now he's pretty much a 2 ability and a helmet Warframe, which is better than some, to be fair. But yeah, for this, we're just gonna, you turn Gloom on, you whip out the Exalted Blade, you blind everybody, and you kill them all. Pretty simple thing that Excal's been doing for a long time. And of course, the blind will also increase your damage as you just cut them all down. Very simple, very easy. It's a heavy control, good damage playstyle. It's all very, it's very self-contained. Exhale just kind of does this whole thing by himself. You can also, you can switch at any time to your weapon. So if you want to fire some like Proboscis Serno shots or whatever else that you happen to want to do, if you're going to use that as like kind of an AoE primer, lots that you can do here. And just very quickly switch between the abilities and yeah, just spam Radial Howl as it's not expensive and just go apeshit. Yeah, that's Excal. It's pretty simple. I'm gonna hit E a lot in this Seal Path run, so enjoy that. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. There's really not a lot to talk about here, and I kind of wish there was.
Scans show when you're harvesting Kuva nearby. Set off the alarms to draw them out, then steal their Kuva catalysts. Predictable. As expected, Grineer have shut down the environmental systems, sending modified life support capsules. Use these to sustain your environment or attach Kuva catalysts to begin harvesting. Ready for a capsule. I've delivered a life support capsule to the area. Activating it while buying more time. capsule is now available. A successful start. Extraction is available if you need it. Just found. They could not aid us without it.
And so we learn the importance of clarity and purpose.
You guys would not believe how long it took me to get the script right for like recording this. I've eaten like 3 bowls. And like, it's good. But man, I'm full. I can't wish it. That'd be wasteful. Highly advise oat milk. Oh. Real good with this one. This box is like empty. I ate so much. I got more though. Congratulations if you made it all the way through the Frost video. What's that thing again? You're here. Just watch me eat this cereal. Like, go get it, man. This room's coming together all right, huh? There's some of this bowl and fruit. Look at this dope bowl. How about that? Fucking love oat milk. Yeah, it's good cereal. Go click the thing. That's the end of the video. Why are you here? Did you stay this long afterward? That's impressive. I appreciate it. Yeah. Subscribe. I guess. Anyway, goodbye. See you next time.